This is hands down the easiest DIY craft project you will ever do. I have found this free printable. It's available for you in the description box, and I'm putting it on a clipboard I got at a garage sale. We're done. When I saw this wood sign and these wood arrows at Dollar Tree in Crafter's Corner, I knew that I wanted to make a directional sign of some kind. So what better thing to do than make a Grinch themed directional sign? So I started off by using apple barrel limeade color to paint one of the arrows. I did end up needing to go back and do a second coat as well. Then I painted the other arrow with a acrylic true red. Lastly, I used my Waverly white chalk paint and painted the base of the sign. I used my Cricut and printed out the words Whoville and Grinch's Lair with the font Grinched, which I will link below. It's a free font download that you can upload into your Cricut. Using my favorite transfer tape from Expressions Vinyl, I just transferred my Cricut words over to the transfer tape. Again, as always, everything is linked below for your viewing pleasure. Then I'm applying the Grinch's Lair words in red to the green arrow. And the vinyl that I use is all Oracal 651. It's a permanent vinyl. I was careful with the transfer tape to make sure I didn't remove any of my paints. And then I used the word Whoville on the red arrow. I liked the corresponding color look. Next, I wanted to make a pom-pom tassel for my sign. So I took some green and some red ribbon, or not ribbon, yarn from just Joann's or the craft store, and I looped it around a little sign 15 times, and then I'm tying it off at the top, and then I'm going to cut the bottom, and then I took another piece of string and I'm making the top of the tassel, and then cutting the ends so that they're even. Now that my pom-pom tassel's done, I'm ready to add a red stripe to the center of my main board. I'm using the same true red acrylic paints as I used on the arrow. Pulling off the painter's tape when the paint is still a little bit wet will keep it from bleeding as much. Then I'm just using some super glue to attach my wood arrows to the sign where I wanted them. Of course, you could use hot glue as well. I'm using some of this baker's twine in red from the Dollar Tree. They have lots of different colors, and a crochet needle to attach the hanging portion back up. Then I'm adding in my pom-pom tassel to the top to give it a little flair. I still felt like the sign needed something more, so I had these candy canes in my craft stash, and I decided to just hot glue them to the sign. And we're done. A really cute Grinch directional sign. I picked up this 3-pack of mini wooden rolling pins from Hobby Lobby, and I decided I would make a Grinch themed one for my tier tray. So I started off by painting the center of the rolling pin with an acrylic true red paint, and then I painted the ends with the limeade apple barrel green acrylic paint. I hadn't decided at this point what I wanted to put onto the rolling pin. And then I decided it'd be really cute to do his heart grew 3 sizes that day. So I printed out 3 red hearts on the Cricut and decided that the red rolling pin didn't work. So I went back in and I painted the rest of the rolling pin in the limeade as well. I'm transferring my red permanent vinyl hearts over to some transfer tape, and then it didn't quite fit the way that I wanted, so I went ahead and cut them hearts apart and applied them individually. I think this turned out so darling. It's going to be a great addition to my Grinch themed tier tray. You can't have a Grinchmas tier tray without having some Cindy Lou Who, right? So I picked up this little wood sign from Dollar General, and I'm just removing the back. It was a little difficult. You have to give it some muscle. I did score the edges with the scissors to help it along. And then I'm removing the back image as best that I can. Once that was done, I went ahead and gave it a few really good coats of some acrylic red paint. This is True Red by Folk Art. And you may want to make sure that you coat the entire sign, even the inside, because it will all show. Next, you're just going to cut out your image and then use a regular glue stick to attach the image to the backing of the sign. To finish off this project, I'm just using some hot glue to attach the sign back to the frame. That's it. We have a super cute Cindy Lou Who sign for our tray. So if you've been watching my videos, you know I love making things out of Scrabble letters. You can find Scrabble letters at garage sales. You can also buy just the letters at craft stores if you absolutely can't find Scrabble letters. But so I just painted the letters Grinchmas into a lime green. It's limeade by Apple Barrel. And then I'm outlining the letters and the numbers with a true red, also from Apple Barrel. Just an acrylic paint. And then I am super gluing them together to create the word Grinchmas for my tiered tray. This couldn't be simpler. It adds so much whimsy to your tiered tray and your decor. This limeade acrylic paint really is the perfect Grinch color. So I had to make the Grinch's tree. You know, the part where he is stealing all of the toys and goodies from everybody, and he bundles up the tree with red ribbon, and it's got the ornament hanging off of it. So I found this tree at Hobby Lobby, and I knew it would be perfect because it was tall and skinny and very malleable and bendy. And then I got this ribbon at Dollar Tree. They didn't have plain red ribbon, so I got this Merry Christmas ribbon, and I just turned it inside out. I hot glued it on, cut it off, and we are good to go. Bending the top so it gets that Grinchy look. This is a Dollar Tree pack of ornaments. You get 12 ornaments for $1, and I'm just hot gluing one to the top. It's a little big, but it's funky. It's very whimsical like Whoville, and it's ready for the tray. A mini beaded garland is always a fun addition to any tier tray, so I had to make a Grinchmas one. I decided to use the limeade Apple Barrel paint, the True Red acrylic paint, and some white acrylic paint, and I have these wooden beads left over from another project, and I'm just painting 3 of them, each of the colors. Once my beads were dry, I'm using some red craft yarn and a needle, and I'm just going to tie off the end several times so that the beads won't fall off the one side, and then string them on in the pattern of green, red, white. Once that's done, I use some of these chalkboard tags from the Dollar Tree and some more of that limeade Grinch colored paint, and I'm going to paint the chalkboard tag on both sides with 3 coats of the limeade paint. I printed off a Grinch face from a free printable, which I will link down below, and I'm weeding it out. This is permanent vinyl that I purchased from Expressions Vinyl. The link is below. I'm using some of my Expressions Vinyl transfer tape to transfer the Grinch's face onto the tag that I painted. Then I'm going to tie off the other end of my beaded garland and affix the Grinch faced tag. I decided to make another of the poofs for the other end. So I'm making another tassel. I like to call them poofs, just like I made before. So I sped this up a lot. You can go back and look at the other tassel that I made for my Grinch directional sign, and cutting the ends, tying off the top with another piece of string, and then attaching that to my beaded garland as well.